Hey there, Rivet family. Happy Thursday, March 26th, I believe. Got some workouts for you to do today. Hopefully you're keeping up with your fitness. I know you are, right? I believe in you. We all believe in you. For today, we have a 15-minute AMRAP. Of course, as usual, we're going to have a version with equipment and a version without. Again, you're going to do what you can with what you have at hand, trying to stay fit and healthy and happy and sane during all this stuff that's going on. So we have our with equipment version. We're looking at a 9, 15, 21 rep scheme. We have 9 strict pull-ups or ring rows, whichever one you have. If you have a pull-up bar, great. If you have rings, awesome. Just make sure to keep these movements strict, no kipping or anything like that. Another option here, if you do have a kettlebell, you can also do kettlebell rows, which works pretty well. So you don't have a pull-up bar, you don't have rings, but you do have a kettlebell. We can turn these into a bent over row, or use this for a bent over row, which works pretty well. We're hinging at the hips, we're keeping the back nice and flat, we're keeping the belly nice and tight. Feet are flat on the floor, and we're pulling those elbows straight up towards the ceiling. The handle of the kettlebell should come up to just below the sternum. You're contracting and using all those kind of mid-back muscles. So we can go, rather than your 9 ring rows or your 9 pull-ups, let's say call that about 15 or so bent over rows. So your rep scheme would be 15, 15, and 21 if you're substituting kettlebell rows for the ring rows or pull-ups. Second movement there is 15 hand release push-ups. Hand release means at the bottom of the push-up, when our chest is resting on the floor, our hands leave the ground before we push back up again. What we're looking for here, hands about shoulder width apart, directly below the shoulders. Legs are straight, belly's tight, glutes are squeezed. We're going all the way down to the floor. Hands leave the ground, push back up again, all the way to the top, locking out the elbows at the top of the movement. What we want to try to avoid here is any kind of snaking or anything off the floor. Ideally, we have a nice straight line through the hips and knees as we go back up to the top. And then, of course, our third movement is the kettlebell swing. Hopefully you have a kettlebell. As usual, keep the feet flat on the floor, keep the belly nice and tight, and that movement all comes from the hips. Right? We drive those hips forward, squeezing the butt as we do, and we're going all the way up overhead. Make sure your ceilings are high enough in your garage, which luckily mine are. The other option here, if you don't have a kettlebell, but you do have a dumbbell, we can do dumbbell swings. Much the same way. Just hold the top part of the bell, going all the way up. If you feel comfortable going all the way overhead, great. If you don't feel as comfortable with a dumbbell, just go ahead and bring it up to shoulder level. Again, using whatever you have on hand. The dumbbell works pretty well for swings. Our without equipment version, also a 15-minute AMRAP. We have a rep scheme of 15, 18, and 21. First movement, hand release push-ups, just like in the other one, all the way down to the ground. Hands leave the floor at the bottom, 15 reps. And I did forget to mention this earlier. If you cannot do 15 good push-ups, hand release style, go ahead and drop those knees to the floor. Same deal though. Knees are flat on the ground, feet are up, go all the way down, hands leave the floor at the bottom, press yourself all the way back up. Just makes it a little bit easier with the knees on the floor, if you need to. And then we have bent over rows, kind of like the other one. I'm assuming if you don't have a kettlebell or a dumbbell, you might have a small backpack or something like this around the house that you can put some, maybe some books in, or you can fill some water bottles with water and put those in there. Doesn't need to be super heavy, you know, maybe 20 pounds, 25 pounds. And with this, same idea as with the kettlebell before, we're just kind of doing a bent over row. So we're hinging at the hips, pushing the butt back, making sure to keep that back nice and flat, belly nice and tight. And we're pulling that backpack, or whatever you're using, straight up into the chest. Same idea, you're kind of contracting and using all those mid-back muscles. Very good for our upper posterior chain. And then third movement, 21 glute bridges. So you don't have a kettlebell, that's fine. Glute bridges actually work your backside really well, just like a kettlebell swing does. So sit on the floor, shoulders on the floor, feet are flat. Gonna raise those hips up, making sure to give your glutes a good squeeze at the top, right back down again. We do these a lot in warm-ups. They're also really good in workouts. Do 21 in a row. You start feeling those glutes get pretty activated. That's about all we've got for today. The 2 different versions, 15-minute AMRAP on each one. Score is how many rounds and reps you do, full rounds plus any extra reps, so keep working right up until the buzzer goes. And I've mentioned this a couple times before, if you don't have a good timer app that you like, try the Gym Next Flex Timer. Works really well, very easy to use. That's all I got for today. Thank you guys, keep working out, stay safe, stay healthy. Morgan out.